Amidst Nigeria's sociocultural inhibitions preventing women from attaining their life potential, emerges a story of resilience, determination, and hope. This is the story of Nigerian women entrepreneurs fighting for their financial independence. The journey to financial inclusion for women entrepreneurs in Nigeria is one that is fraught with challenges. But these women entrepreneurs are not just surviving, they are thriving and building a future for economic independence. Despite the gender challenges they grapple with in their day-to-day lives, their resilience and determination is transforming the livelihood of their families and communities and also fostering financial inclusion in the process. She faced many challenges in her life. Giving up was never an option. Zulaiha Shehu is an entrepreneur who produces toiletries, soap, perfumes, body spray, pomades, and a host of other things to make a living. Yet, access to finance has been her biggest hurdle. Zulaiha's life story is a byword for perseverance. Thanks to the unwavering support of her husband, she has now acquired a permanent site for her business. Her entrepreneurial journey is not a tea party. Oftentimes, she had to rely on funds from her sewing business to fund her current venture.
Well, there are so much challenges in getting loan. That is why I just do 2 attempts for loan, and I didn't get it. That is why I never tried it again. I'm just doing it with what I have. You know, if you have a capital, the product I will produce more things better than I'm producing it now. But because I don't have the capital, that is why I'm producing it small. I even have the market that who are asking me to bring it into their stores. Some like Sahad store, Jipatu, and this other one, all Al-Ikhlas. But I don't have the capital to produce the product and take it to them at once. I'm just doing it just like Dabara Matamata. When I take it to the Sahad store, if they purchase it and sell it, they give me the money, then I produce another one to take it to the Al-Ikhlas store. Because I don't want to lose the market, and I don't have enough money to supply them all at a time. It's only my husband that's giving me support all the time. He is the one that built this company for me. I sacrifice what I have just to make this business grow. Just like I told you, I'm a tailor. I'm doing beadswork and many other things with hand. When I get that profit, I use it. I transfer that profit instead of me to eat or to do something with their profit. I just use it to grow this business.
DJ Ibrahim is a farmer and an entrepreneur. The banker turned perfume entrepreneur had to deal with the harsh reality of being both a female entrepreneur and a widow, trying to access financing for her business. The Nigerian banking industry doesn't have tailor-made financial products for women in her shoes.
With all this one, I was doing it with the support of my family and children. In fact, with all this family I was doing, I didn't collect any loan from the bank. Even as I was a banker, I know I'm supposed to have a loan from the bank, but I didn't collect personal loan for my family. I decided to collaborate with my children. We put hands together and we finance our family. So all my activities was successful being together with my children. If I collected loan now and the business didn't go well, it will be a problem for me and my children, because bank will never allow you to go with their money. You must pay back the loan.
Although it's really tough sustaining her enterprise, she believes the right financial support is all that stands between her and taking her business to the next level.
Even presently, I'm still struggling to see that I have people that would partner with, more especially with the freshener, because this HOS, it has go around and it is giving us courage So my struggle now is anywhere that I had this any seminar or any activity that can lead me to have a partner, I would join them. So I am now struggling to see how will I get a partner that will partner with, so that we will work together. My intention is to make this our HOS product to be exported outside.
In Gombe State, Zainab Ismail's journey has been shaped by societal and cultural norms. Starting her spice business was an uphill battle. Aside from financial challenges which female entrepreneurs Zulaiha and DJ are facing, certain cultural norms in her society makes it even harder for women to succeed. But through thick and thin, Zainab overcome many obstacles. Her business is growing and she seeks heightened support to thrive among her male business counterparts.
My aspiration for the future of my business include expanding our product line, maybe to be exporting our products in the global market. Let our product go everywhere in the world. Let us be well known everywhere in Nigeria, everywhere in Gombe. Let everybody knows about Zia spices. Reaching new markets and incorporating more sustainable practices to achieve these goals. I am focusing on strategic partnerships and leveraging technology to improve efficiency. My advice to other women aspiring to become entrepreneurs in Gombe State and Northern Nigeria at large is to stay resilient, seek out mentorship, and continuously invest in their personal and professional development.
Adetutu Adedeji's story is a story of defying all odds, including a physical disability. Adetutu has carved a niche for herself as a fashion entrepreneur, dealing in ajiri, the colorful handmade and indigo dyed clothing made by Yoruba women. She is unstoppable. Thanks to social media, which has liberalized the art of marketing, Adetutu has leveraged social media to promote her brand to the next level. Yet, she believes the government needs to do more in terms of creating an enabling environment for women entrepreneurs like herself.
I know being challenged and being an entrepreneur can be quite challenging, but I don't focus on the challenges before me. I go for so many exhibitions, and one unique thing I do that I praise myself for is the fact that I could walk into any hotel and demand to see the manager and just showcase what I do. Here in Festac, I just walked up to them. I told them this is what I do. I went with some of their address, showed them, they fell in love. They asked that I do customized address tops for them. And immediately the GM saw me, and I'm sure at the back of his mind, it was like, for someone with these conditions, still trying to make something good out of her life, we just need to encourage her. I can't say for other physically challenged entrepreneurs, but for someone like me, I think I'll be getting good responses from people. I knew someone who runs a fashion house, a very good one, and so she purchases most of this direct from me, and their business is about win-win, 50-50. So what I do is that she buys this direct from me, she makes beautiful styles with it, then I post on my social media pages that, the direct is for me, but if you need her services, these are contacts. So that is that for me. And I don't just go posting people's pictures anyhow. I have to seek permission. Are you comfortable in doing this? So I have what I call Man Crush Monday, Man Crush Adire Monday. So I celebrate men in Adire with what they do on Mondays. Then Wednesdays are for the women. So that is one unique thing about what I do.
Like Adetutu, Victoria Oluwasanya wants to see her business grow and will stop at nothing till she achieves it.
We need for the banks or the lending institutions to look at women's issues, women's challenges they need to look at it holistically and come up with solution. For instance, I don't mind a situation in which you tell me to go and join a business management organization like New Faces, New Voices, so that if I want to join, if I want to access loan, I will go through my business management organization.
Yes.
They know me, they see me regularly, they know me, they can vouch for me. But I have to pay my subscription. I have to abide by the rules and regulations. Sometimes that is it's not happening like that. Even if you do all of that, that does not mean you will still get this money that we are talking about from Bank of Industry. Even the commercial banks, their rate is too high for us. That is the truth. Their rates too high. We need single-digit loan. Single-digit interest loan. Anything that is double, we will not be able to cope with it.
The journey towards financial inclusion is one that is fraught with too many obstacles. Financial experts and entrepreneurship stakeholders believe accurate data collection and robust monitoring and evaluation mechanisms are essential for achieving tailor-made, effective financial services for Nigerian female entrepreneurs. Ms. Olushola Afolalu of EcoBank Nigeria believes that efficient data collection and effective monitoring mechanisms are critical for understanding the needs of Nigerian female entrepreneurs.
Digital literacy is important. In terms of financial literacy, what I tell people is that we can't all be specialists, really. But what is important is if we can get a competent team to be able to record your transactions to ensure that they can interpret that transaction. Yes, you must have the basic knowledge to be able to, when you look at it, to say, okay, my business is doing well, my business has gone from this point to that point. But you can actually engage the services of a team or of a consultant to walk you through the process, because it's important. Financial literacy encompasses having good records. If you don't have financial records, the banks are not going to give you any loan because they can't assess you. The organizations that want to help you process grants and technical assistance might not be able to, so they need to be the data about your business, a record about your business. So it's critical, and it is important that the women entrepreneur go ensure that they are digitally literate or financially literate.
Just because loans are there doesn't mean everybody can access them. No matter how friendly the terms are, no matter how woman friendly the government policies and institutions want to make their loans, there will still be a certain minimum requirement level for all these loans. And what that means is that for the woman to approach and to get those loans, they will need to meet that minimum standard. And this is a minimum standard that has been lowered compared to the tougher ones that typical businesses or male-led businesses have to go through. So if 70% of the women are yet to access these loans, then we need to start working towards financial inclusion, and that is raising the standards of these women's businesses so that they can get access to finance, and that's what NFNV is doing. We need to start creating more business education opportunities. Again, this is something I was involved with the Sherry Blair Foundation through the Enterprise Development Center. We need to do a lot more of creating female business networks that will come together and educate one another and speak and act as a collective, so that together they support one another to meet minimum requirements and approach the lending institutions to be able to acquire these loans. That's the only way it can work.
Ms. Ashley Emmanuel, Chief Operating Officer at Semicolon Africa, bemoans the difficult atmosphere of doing business for Nigerian women, calling for improved representation of women in startups with the capacity to access venture capital.
Although there have been some improvements, there's still quite a few challenges that remains low. We still see lower financial inclusion figures among women than among men. We see still kind of less in terms of the economic activity or success of women-run businesses. We don't see as much representation, particularly in terms of businesses that are growing into medium or larger enterprises. We see a very low representation of women-run businesses in startups that are raising venture capital, for example. So while we've seen some kind of initiatives by government and by others to drive economic inclusion, financial inclusion for women and female entrepreneurs, we can see in the data that there's still quite a lot of work remaining to be done because they're still facing a lot of challenges and there's still a material gender gap. How can we maybe change our attitudes, the ways we interact in our families, in our religious groups, in our communities, to ensure that there's equal opportunity for men and for women? So I think that gender, really kind of looking at and then slowly doing the work to change restrictive or harmful gender norms is one. At the same time, we can also be doing some other things. So we can be doing, like I said, think about when we set regulations for government, for regulators, every time we create policy or regulation, thinking about how is this going to affect women versus men. For financial service providers, when they're creating products being delivered, does this product make sense for women as well as for men? A lot of times, if they don't go through that thought process, they're likely to just design for the customers they've typically had, which have predominantly been men. So they might be designing for men without really intending to. So just asking that question, and am I designing for women? And then sometimes if a bank or a financial service provider sees the strategic value in capturing some of these uncaptured segments of women customers, then really deliberately designing some products for them. So being woman-centric in our design.
Access to finance products and services would be a game changer for Nigerian women entrepreneurs. Education and awareness are crucial for ensuring women entrepreneurs are able to take full advantage of these opportunities.
We have a special product by Bank of Industry. Bank of Industry is a development finance bank owned by government to support entrepreneurs, male and female. But at the moment, we now have a particular policy in the Bank of Industry that stipulates that their funding, 30% of their funding will now go for women. So, this year, they've been able to increase it from 30% to 60%. So if you are going for funding through Bank of Industry now, any fund they have has a 60% shares dedicated to women. Also, like I mentioned the other time, CBN also mandated the banks to now begin to borrow to women, not just having women on their boards alone, but to now begin to borrow to women strategically. For that reason, they mandated all banks to have special products for women, and that has been happening now. For example, First Bank now have a 0% interest rate loan for women. Access Bank has a 1 decade interest loan for women, aside from what they used to have for men or the general public. We have Zenith Bank, their own is Zenith Z. They also have a 1 decade interest loan for women. There's another government agency known as SMIDA, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. That's the arm of government that oversees all the activities of women across the nation. Now they also have a particular funding program dedicated to women. And this funding program also assigns 70% of their fund to women only. And what has this been able to develop? We now discover that quite a number of entrepreneurs whose ownership are purely male are now including female in their board so that they can begin to access some of these funds that are dedicated purely to women. And that has in a long way been able to bring about corporate governance where we have gender equality, men and women on the board of companies, of registered businesses in Nigeria now, because they know that the best way to get to quite a number of loans and intervention fund and grants now is by having women on their board.
Chinasa Collins Ogbo is the Advocacy and Communications Lead for the Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access, EFINA. She outlines what the government must do to democratize access to loans and foster financial literacy among women entrepreneurs.
There's so many, ways of addressing this and ensuring that, women have the right information. But I think the first place to start is understanding the needs of women and understanding what drives them, understanding their challenges. And to understand is a lot of, groundwork in going into the different communities and engaging with different groups of women. Because as they say, women are not a homogeneous group. So the woman in the north, even within like a particular region, still very diverse. And so if you have a blanket approach in sort of engaging with them, you may not record a lot of successes or may not even get the impact that you want, right? So it's first of all having that lens of women. All women are not the same. They are women. There are issues that cut across the group as a gender, but in terms of their socio-cultural nuances, educational backgrounds, then you start to see the differences and start to think of how to tailor solutions or even advocacy efforts to address the gaps, right? So in a nutshell, financial education and literacy programs very important, but that's layered on a deep and nuanced understanding of who they are, what they want, the language they speak, what resonates with them, and then you can address those needs.
The New Faces, New Voices Nigerians Women Leadership and Financial Inclusion WLFI project focuses on building a robust network of Nigerian women leaders and financial stakeholders to influence policies that promote economic recovery from COVID-19 and foster financial inclusion for women. The WLFI project also promotes the participation of women in financial policy making through strengthening women's network that elevate the collective voices of women to improve their financial inclusion.
What we have achieved as an impact or progress is what we will call as celebrating, our consolidated gains from running this WLFI project in the 3 years, like what we did in Kano in May. May, yes, 22nd and 23rd, and this was to consolidate our gain. And you can see that we really consolidate our gain because number one, the Kaswa24.com, saw the viability and saw the impact that we were able to build over these 2 years, and gave the women that participated, the beneficiaries, a 1 year full free, complimentary to onboard on Kaswa24 to be able to advertise, sell their products, and at the same time buy. And last Saturday we were able to onboard the first batch, of the NFMV women entrepreneurs on Kaswa24.com. The second impact that we're able to make, as from the summit in May, was that the state government, had a program on ground to empower women monthly with 50,000 naira, and we were privileged that the Commissioner of Women Affairs and the Commissioner Commerce and Trade were in attendance, and they pledged that the beneficiaries from the NFMV Women Leadership and Financial Inclusion will benefit from this 50,000 naira monthly grant. We are in that process yet, but the good thing is that we started implementing the 2 pledges, like communicating with the commissioner and also the Kasua 24 for onboarding 39 women last week. Well, all of them has to go through, a kind of selection to ensure that they have, concrete businesses on ground, no matter how small it is, so that they can build on it and enhance and even, expand their businesses.
Despite the NFNV, WLFI's project strides in fostering financial inclusion, achieving women's financial inclusion remains an ongoing project. Therefore, Aminu says NFNV Nigeria will continue to pave the way for Nigerian women's journey towards financial independence.
What they need as entrepreneurs is resilience, and persistence, and a lot of patience, and then try to gain knowledge wherever they can get that knowledge, because knowledge is not always enough. Even me as leading NFNV Nigeria, I always look for opportunities where I can enhance the knowledge I already had. So that's the only encouragement I will give them, because by gaining more knowledge and by being persistent and being patient and resilience, because there's nothing apart from being entrepreneur, you need, for even life's journey, you need a lot of resilience. So that's the only encouragement I will give them, and it's never wasted.
Women in Nigeria face myriads of challenges when it comes to starting and scaling their businesses, from limited access to capital to systemic discrimination and deeply entrenched cultural biases. Their entrepreneurial journey is one dotted by a series of ups and downs. The stories of women entrepreneurs told in this documentary are a testament to their strength and resilience in the face of the most daunting of challenges. With the right support and opportunities, they can achieve anything, anywhere.